In this video, I'd like to talk about why many expats are leaving Thailand and why are they leaving Thailand, particularly Americans and Europeans, and just deciding not to live there. And I'm talking about people who lived in Thailand for a long time, people who have residency, elite visas, who even marry Thai people like this, not just people who fly in there, stay a few months and leave. I'm talking about why are people who are actually committed to staying in Thailand, kind of built roots, why are they leaving now? Why are they... A lot of them also, so I know many people who live there, who have elite visas, do all this sort of stuff, because I lived in Thailand many years, and I have left as well now. But they are now deciding, you know what, I'm going to get a second home in Malaysia. I'm going to go through Malaysia, my second home program. I'm going to go to the Philippines and get the special investor residency visa there, and I'm going to spend time over there, because there are issues in Thailand. That's really what they're saying to me, and that's really what I've seen happen over the last about a year or so. So, you know what? Let's get into the video. Why are people leaving Thailand? The first thing, and one of the biggest things, is just the politics and like the tax situation there. So Thailand used to be a very stable tax place, kind of a tax haven. You could kind of go there, not really pay tax on foreign income, and it was just very easy. You go there, get residency, whatever, and you don't have to file any tax. You don't have to do anything. That's how it used to kind of be. Now, it's not really like that. There's a lot of what ifs. No, there's not really much clarity. There's a lot of confusion going on. There's a lot of new policies and just garbage being passed by the Thai government, and there's just the political stability seems to have declined since Thailand's trying to seek closer economic ties with Western nations, I guess, and get part of a lot of different trade organizations, stuff like this. So they have been imposing different extra tax rules and different things that these organizations usually force on their members. So the tax situation, just the political situation, is getting much, much worse. There are people talking about you might even get taxed on foreign earned income, global income in the future. You might get, right now there's already unclear, are you going to get taxed if you remit money into Thailand to buy a condo? Are you going to get taxed if you just remit money in to spend expenses? How do you, apparently you might need to pay taxes on money you remit in if you're paying with a foreign credit card even, because that might be considered remittance. It's just a lot of nonsense and not a lot of clarity currently. And this is causing a lot of people to just you know what? I just don't want to be a tax resident. I don't want to be considered a tax resident. I don't want to be here more than 180 days. And they're deciding to leave as a result. And I'm talking even people with elite visas are deciding this, who paid tens of thousands of dollars in some cases to get an elite visa, get a 10-year residence in Thailand or 20-year residence. And they're deciding, you know what, I'm not comfortable with it anymore. That's one of the big reasons, but there's also some other reasons. So another reason a lot of people are deciding, you know what, I'm out of here, is the politics and just the social aspects. Things are getting kind of weird in Thailand. So Thailand used to be kind of a place where everyone was kind of accepted. They didn't mind who you were, what your sexuality was. If you're gay, who cares? No one cares. If you're trans, no one really cared in Thailand. That's kind of changing now. Things are getting kind of the wokeness is kind of getting into Thailand, and it's kind of affecting things. So in your daily life, it's not going to really affect you personally, but you see it around, you see propaganda being pushed, you see different aspects happening, and it's just something that kind of makes people feel uncomfortable. Uncomfortable in the sense of they can see society kind of decaying. And that's another thing. A lot of people are kind of a lot of tourists have been attracted to going to Thailand because of the drugs. So Thailand is one of the only countries where drugs are kind of legal, a lot of drugs, particularly kratom. It's, let's not talk about kratom, but you can look it up if you want. But to me, that's a drug. It's a drink, but it's a drug. It's sold at a lot of the weed shops in Thailand, and it's illegal in most countries. Thailand also has, of course, weed. 100% legal throughout the country, and you can kind of buy it wherever. There's tens of thousands of shops, it seems throughout Thailand now. They say everywhere you go is a weed shop. You can smell weed, you can see weed. It is what it is. It's in the malls, it's on every street corner pretty much. It's there's more weed shops than 7-Elevens. That's how it feels now. So this is also kind of part of the societal decay. It seems like the Thai government seems to have sold their country out to weed and drugs, particularly to try to boost tourism in the economy. And to me, it's hurting the economy. It's hurting the it's hurting Thai society as well as it's hurting foreigners who are actually committed to staying in Thailand. It's causing a lot of disturbances, and it's just causing the lifestyle in Thailand, how things are, just seems to not really be the same cleanliness as it used to be. Let's say it like that. One of the other big things is the traffic in Thailand. Just the traffic has gotten much, much worse in Thailand over the last few years. So 3 years ago, 4 years ago, even before COVID, so 2019, saying when I first went to Thailand, just the amount of traffic wasn't that bad. It didn't really feel that bad. I don't really know what it was about it, but I think it's that, like, what I've discussed with a lot of the, like, expats who live there long term and, like, I'm friends with, it seems like over time, Thailand, there's this mentality with Thai people where it's not safe to drive a motorbike because there's so many motorbike accidents. And the roads are made for motorbikes. Just all these cities were kind of designed with small, narrow roads because people are driving motorbikes primarily. What's happened is because people feel like it's unsafe to ride a motorbike, once you have enough money, they're buying a car now, and they can't really fit on these narrow roads. Sometimes two cars can't even go by each other on the same road for one of these side roads or neighborhood roads. So this is causing congestion generally, and it's also causing it where then the more cars on the road, the more dangerous it is for motorbikes on the road. So then more people end up getting the cars. And I feel like in the last 5 years since I got there, really in the last 2-3 years, this has got much, much, much worse. And that's what all of the other expats in Thailand that I know also seem to feel. That's what they've expressed to me. Like the traffic, just anytime we hop in a car and we go somewhere, the topic seems to get brought up, like, oh, the traffic, what's going on here, oh my gosh, and it's just a mess. So it's getting much worse in Thailand, and yeah, it's causing a lot of people to just get sick of it. Like, if you have, every time you get in your car just to go somewhere, you're just getting stuck in traffic, and you're getting stuck in traffic for 10-20 minutes. This is one of the reasons why a lot of these people left like America and the US. It's because there's so much traffic during the day, and it just, if you're gonna have to sit in your car and it might take as long to like drive there as it would to bicycle there or walk, what's the point? And it just makes things inconvenient. And Thailand's very hot. It's a very hot country, so you don't really want to walk or bike most of the time for most people. So it just, yeah, it's not the best. As well as, quite frankly, the more cars that have been coming on, the more accidents these people have been in. The more accidents they've almost been in. So almost everyone I know in Thailand who's been living there a long time has had a close call with a car or another motorbike, but particularly cars where they almost hit them or run them over, or just some nonsense happens. Seemingly, like, the incidents of it have increased substantially. Let's say that. I mean, next thing would really be the pollution. So the pollution in Thailand has always been quite bad during burning season. It seems to be quite a bit worse. It seems to be stretching further and further south. Maybe this is because of tourism, maybe this is because of there's some industry being developed in Thailand, and maybe this is polluting more. Honestly, I'm not too sure, but regardless, the pollution is getting worse in Thailand. It's really quite noticeable, and it's affecting people's health. Like, I lived up in Chiang Mai for a couple years, and I always had to go down south or leave the country during burning season or like dry season, like February, March, April. I'd have to usually leave the country or go to the south. And the last time I did that, I guess it was last year. No, not last year, the year before. It was still kind of polluted down in the south a little bit. Not too bad to make you sick, but you could see the pollution in the sky, and it's just the pollution has been getting worse, and people are getting kind of sick of it. The Thai government doesn't seem to really be doing anything about it. They always try to save face and say they're going to do something about it, say they're going to target people setting fires, but truthfully nothing seems to ever change or happen, and people are just getting kind of frustrated with it. And I see that among a lot of Thai people in Chiang Mai as well. People are just getting frustrated. Not every government, just generally, where a lot of them are even trying to during burning season I take vacation. That's the only time, because the pollution's affecting their health. Or they're considering, oh, you know what, screw it, I'm going to leave my hometown. I'm going to leave Chiang Mai. I'm going to go move down to the south, like near Rayong or near Phuket, where the air quality is a bit better. Pollution's getting worse. It's another thing causing people to leave. And finally, the last thing I'd really like to talk about, the last thing I've noticed a lot of people are leaving for, is just kind of the living environment in Thailand. It's kind of changed. Part of it's because of like the weed and the drugs, kind of it's affecting the atmosphere and the cleanliness, it feels like, but also just generally things seem to not be as well kept. Not as, maybe it's because things are getting older or not as new. Honestly, I'm not too sure about that, but just the living conditions, the cleanliness, as well as just like the street food, it seems to be affecting the quality of life more. So, example, like in Bangkok, whenever you walk around the little sois, seems like a lot more of the time there's like dirty, disgusting street food. Like I'm talking stuff where they're like deep frying stuff in rancid oil or grilling something, grilling lots of meats with some weird coal. And it's something that just, it makes it where the street like around it is dirty, and then the smell is kind of dirty a lot of the time, and it's just something where it before it was kind of interesting, like, oh, we got street food, this is like cheap place to eat, whatever, and it just seems like the quality of the street food has went way downhill, and the amount of like unclean stuff has increased a lot. So this seems to be something that's really like disturbing people. To me, it only really disturbed me in Bangkok, but I've met people complaining about it in Chiang Mai as well as of course Phuket, where it just seems like in markets and stuff, it's more of an aggressive experience when you go there. It's not as like comforting. It's not as like local anymore, it feels like if you still go to the local markets, I can't pronounce them, but if you go to the local markets in Chiang Mai, where only locals go, like the food and vegetable markets and stuff, where they have like some local food as well, and like this, it's fine, everything's fine. But if you go to like any of the tourist streets or a lot of these sois or like more of the populated areas, it's hard to even walk around a lot of the time because of it. I don't know. This isn't as big of an issue as the other things I've described, but it's also like the condos and stuff seem to, the maintenance there has been falling a bit in the last year or two, and it's just something about it. It's hard to really put it into words, but it doesn't feel like things are getting better in Thailand anymore. That's really what it boils down to. It feels like things are kind of stagnating or getting worse. So that's kind of the atmosphere. Like the quality of the infrastructure is falling apart a little bit. It's not, because of the changes, like people getting more cars, the infrastructure is just not working as efficiently. It's making life more difficult, and it's just making it where it's like, why be here where things are getting a little worse, and where there's these issues when I can go somewhere else? That's really how a lot of them are starting to think. And I don't know. To me, I don't really agree with it too much. I get annoyed with the condos being quite small in Thailand a lot of the time. I prefer staying in 2-3-bedroom apartments or preferably homes. It's quite hard to actually find that and rent that, especially if you're staying less than like a year contract. If you're like staying in Chiang Mai, I don't really like doing year contracts because you leave down to the south during burning season for a few months. So yeah, anyhow, really, that's the video. If you have any thoughts or questions regarding Thailand, or if you have any personal experiences in Thailand, positive or negative, feel free to leave those down below. With that being said, that's the video. Have a good bye. Bye-bye.